Welcome to Advanced Lead Generation for Climate Tech. If you're a digital marketing manager in the sustainability or climate technology space, this course is designed specifically for you. We're going to move beyond generic B2B tactics and build a sophisticated, revenue-generating lead generation engine tailored to the unique complexities of carbon tracking and compliance solutions. Over the next 35 minutes, you'll learn how to navigate the regulatory landscapes of the USA, UAE, and India, engage complex buying committees, and build the authority needed to drive meaningful pipeline growth. This isn't about basic lead generation. This is about mastering the art of marketing in one of the world's most important and challenging sectors. Let's transform your approach to climate tech marketing. Here's your roadmap to climate tech marketing mastery. We'll start with Module 1, where we'll establish the strategic landscape using the SCQA framework, understanding the situation, complication, and central question that drives our entire approach. Module 2 introduces our core answer, the Authority Flywheel framework, a revolutionary approach that replaces traditional funnels with a self-reinforcing system of education, validation, justification, and engagement. Module 3 dives deep into advanced content and thought leadership strategies. How to build the authority that powers your flywheel. Module 4 covers high-precision account-based marketing and digital targeting, showing you how to engage complex buying committees with surgical precision. Finally, Module 5 provides your implementation roadmap, tech stack recommendations, and measurement frameworks to prove ROI to your leadership team. By the end, you'll have a complete, actionable strategy ready for immediate implementation. Let's begin with the situation. In our SCQA framework, the global business landscape has fundamentally shifted. Carbon tracking is no longer a nice-to-have CSR initiative. It's become a core business necessity driven by three powerful forces. First, institutional investors managing over $100 trillion in assets now demand detailed ESG data, making carbon reporting essential for capital access. Second, consumers increasingly choose brands based on sustainability credentials, with 73% willing to pay premium prices for sustainable products. Third, governments worldwide are implementing mandatory climate disclosure regulations. This isn't a trend, it's a permanent transformation of how business operates. For companies selling carbon tracking solutions, this represents a massive market opportunity. But as we'll see, this opportunity comes with unique marketing challenges that traditional B2B playbooks simply can't address. In the USA, the primary driver is the SEC's 2024 Climate Disclosure Rules. These regulations require public companies to report material Scope 1 and Scope 2 greenhouse gas emissions in their annual reports, starting with 2025 filings for large accelerated filers. This isn't just about compliance, it's about financial risk management. Companies that can't accurately track and report their emissions face potential SEC enforcement actions, investor lawsuits, and exclusion from ESG-focused investment funds. The rules create a cascade effect throughout supply chains as public companies demand emissions data from their suppliers to complete their own reporting. For your prospects, this means carbon tracking software isn't just about sustainability, it's about protecting their business relationships, avoiding regulatory penalties, and maintaining access to capital markets. When marketing in the US, your messaging should emphasize risk mitigation, investor relations benefits, and the urgent timeline for compliance implementation. The UAE presents a completely different but equally compelling driver, the Net Zero 2050 Strategic Initiative. This isn't just policy. It's a national transformation backed by massive government investment and coordination across 45+ major stakeholders, including ministries and national companies. The UAE's climate change reduction law mandates businesses to measure, track, and manage GHG emissions with legal enforcement beginning in 2024. But the real opportunity lies in alignment with mega projects. The UAE is building smart cities, implementing green building standards, and deploying renewable energy at unprecedented scale. Companies that can demonstrate their carbon tracking capabilities aren't just meeting compliance requirements, they're positioning themselves as partners in national vision fulfillment. Your UAE messaging should emphasize partnership with government initiatives, scalability for large projects, and alignment with the country's global leadership aspirations. Success here means becoming part of the UAE's sustainability showcase to the world. India's market is driven by the Business Responsibility and Sustainability Reporting Framework, known as BRSR. SEBI mandates that the top 1,000 listed companies by market capitalization must include detailed ESG metrics, including carbon emissions data, in their annual reports. This affects India's largest corporations across every major industry. Unlike the US focus on risk or the UAE's focus on vision, India's driver is operational efficiency and compliance precision. These companies need systems that can automatically collect emissions data from existing ERP and operational systems, generate audit-ready reports, and ensure accuracy for public disclosure. The BRSR framework aligns with global standards like GRI and TCFD, meaning Indian companies are preparing for international expansion and investor scrutiny. Your Indian prospects are looking for solutions that reduce the manual effort of compliance reporting while improving data accuracy and audit readiness. Position your solution as an operational efficiency tool that transforms compliance from a burden into a competitive advantage through better data management and reporting automation. Now we reach the complication in our SCQA framework. Despite this massive market opportunity, traditional B2B marketing playbooks fail spectacularly in climate tech. Here's why. First, your top-of-funnel content is too generic. A white paper on the benefits of carbon tracking doesn't help a CFO understand SEC compliance timelines or a sustainability officer evaluate methodology differences. Second, standard lead scoring breaks down when your sales cycles stretch 12 or 18 months and involve multiple stakeholders with different priorities. Third, your value proposition is too complex for a LinkedIn ad or Google search result. You can't explain carbon accounting methodologies, data integration requirements, and ROI calculations in a 30-second elevator pitch. Fourth, the market is noisy with greenwashing concerns. Prospects are skeptical of bold sustainability claims and need proof of credibility before they'll engage. These aren't minor tactical adjustments. They represent fundamental failures of traditional B2B approaches when applied to the high complexity, high trust climate tech environment. The complication deepens when you realize you're not selling to one person, you're selling to a complex buying committee with conflicting priorities. Let me introduce you to your 4 key personas. First, the sustainability officer, your champion. They care about impact accuracy, methodology credibility, and comprehensive scope coverage. They speak the language of carbon accounting standards and regulatory frameworks. Second, the CFO, your decision maker. They focus on ROI, risk mitigation, and cost justification. They want to see clear financial benefits and compliance cost avoidance. Third, the head of operations, your end user. They worry about implementation complexity, data integration with existing systems, and workflow disruption. They need proof that your solution won't create more work. Fourth, the legal or compliance officer, your gatekeeper. They scrutinize regulatory adherence, audit readiness, and liability protection. Each persona has different pain points, speaks different languages, and evaluates success differently. Your marketing must simultaneously educate, convince, and reassure 4 distinct audiences, a challenge that traditional single persona B2B campaigns simply cannot address. The final complication, time and trust. Climate tech sales cycles average 12–18 months, far longer than typical B2B software sales. This isn't just about budget approval. It's about organizational change, system integration, and stakeholder education. Your prospects need continuous nurturing, education, and relationship building throughout this extended journey. But here's the critical challenge. Trust is your most valuable currency. The sustainability space is plagued by greenwashing concerns, with buyers skeptical of bold claims and unproven solutions. They've been burned by vendors who overpromised and underdelivered. Your prospects need proof of credibility, evidence of expertise, and validation from trusted sources before they'll even take a demo. A single demo request isn't a qualified lead, it's the beginning of a long relationship building process. You must earn the right to engage at each stage, proving your worth through education, insight, and genuine value delivery long before you can discuss pricing or implementation timelines. This brings us to the central question of our SCQA framework. How do we build a scalable multi-market lead generation engine that masters these complexities? Specifically, how can you, as a digital marketing manager in a climate tech company, create a system that simultaneously educates multiple personas across different markets, builds deep trust over extended sales cycles, and effectively communicates complex value propositions across the diverse regulatory landscapes of the USA, UAE, and India? How do you move beyond generic B2B tactics to build an authority-driven, relationship-focused marketing engine that actually drives revenue? This isn't just a tactical question, it's a strategic imperative. Your company's growth depends on your ability to crack this code. The rest of this course is dedicated to answering this question with a comprehensive, actionable framework. We'll move from understanding the problem to implementing the solution, giving you everything you need to transform your marketing approach and drive meaningful pipeline growth. We've established the complex landscape and formulated our central question. Now it's time for the answer, and that answer is the authority flywheel. In Module 1, we diagnosed why traditional B2B marketing fails in climate tech: generic content, broken lead scoring, complex value propositions, and trust deficits. We identified the multi-persona buying committee and the extended sales cycles that demand continuous relationship building. The solution isn't to optimize these broken approaches, it's to replace them entirely. We're going to move from a linear marketing funnel that treats customers as an output to a circular flywheel that uses customer success to fuel continuous growth. This isn't just a tactical shift, it's a fundamental reimagining of how marketing creates momentum in complex, trust-based markets. Let's begin by understanding why the flywheel model is perfectly suited to the climate tech challenge. The traditional marketing funnel is linear. Awareness leads to consideration, consideration leads to decision, decision leads to purchase. Customers flow through and exit. The funnel treats customers as an output. Once they buy, they're someone else's responsibility. This model breaks down in climate tech because it ignores the relationship building and trust development that drive long-term success. The flywheel is circular and self-reinforcing. Instead of losing momentum at purchase, customer success creates energy that attracts new prospects, validates your expertise, and accelerates future sales cycles. In climate tech, satisfied customers become your most powerful marketing asset. They provide case studies, speak at industry events, give references, and create the credibility that skeptical prospects demand. The flywheel focuses on force, not friction. Every marketing activity should either add rotational energy to the wheel or reduce the friction that slows it down. Customer success isn't the end of your marketing journey, it's the fuel that powers everything else. Our authority flywheel has 4 distinct phases. Phase 1 is educate. Your goal is to become the primary source of truth for carbon compliance in your markets. You're not selling, you're teaching. Create comprehensive guides on regulatory requirements, methodology comparisons, and implementation best practices. When prospects have questions about SEC rules, BRSR requirements, or UAE sustainability standards, your content should be their first resource. Phase 2 is validate. Now you build credibility and prove your expertise. Publish original research, host expert panels, showcase customer success stories, and earn third-party validation from industry analysts. You're demonstrating that you don't just understand the theory, you deliver results. These first 2 phases address the trust deficit that plagues climate tech marketing. By the time prospects are ready to consider solutions, they already view you as the authority. You've earned the right to be in the conversation before the conversation even begins. Phase 3 is justify. Your prospects are convinced you're credible, but they need ammunition to win internal budget battles. Remember, your champion isn't the decision maker. They need to convince the CFO, operations team, and legal department. Create ROI calculators that quantify compliance cost savings, implementation guides that address operational concerns, and security white papers that satisfy legal requirements. You're not just selling to your champion, you're arming them to sell internally. Phase 4 is engage. Now you've earned the right to have meaningful conversations with the right people at the right time. This isn't cold outreach, it's warm engagement with educated prospects who already view you as credible and have the tools they need to justify the investment. Your ABM campaigns, personalized outreach, and executive briefings land differently because you've built the foundation of trust and authority. The flywheel's momentum carries your sales efforts forward instead of fighting against market skepticism and buyer ignorance. A new model requires new metrics. Forget MQLs. They're vanity metrics in a flywheel world. Your key metrics are content-influenced pipeline, account engagement scores, sales cycle length, customer acquisition cost, and revenue from customer referrals and upsells. Content-influenced pipeline measures how much revenue can be traced back to your educational content. Account engagement scores track how deeply target accounts are consuming your authority, building content across multiple touchpoints. Pipeline velocity shows whether your trust-building efforts are actually accelerating sales cycles. Customer acquisition cost reveals the efficiency of your flywheel compared to traditional demand generation. Most importantly, revenue from customer referrals and upsells proves that your flywheel is truly self-reinforcing. When existing customers become your best source of new business, you know the flywheel is working. These metrics shift your focus from generating leads to building relationships, from campaign performance to flywheel momentum, from quarterly tactics to sustainable growth engines. The flywheel framework adapts to each market's unique drivers. In the USA, emphasize the justify phase because decisions are heavily influenced by financial risk and investor relations. Your content should focus on ROI calculations, risk mitigation related to SEC compliance, and satisfying institutional investor demands for ESG data. Create materials that help CFOs explain to their boards why carbon tracking software reduces financial exposure and improves investor relations. Your case study should highlight companies that avoided SEC enforcement issues or won new investment because of their emissions reporting capabilities. Target financial personas early in your engagement strategy. The CFO and investor relations teams need to understand the business case before the sustainability officer can get budget approval. Your webinars should feature former SEC officials, investment analysts, and CFOs who can speak to the financial implications of climate disclosure. The US market respects authority that comes from regulatory expertise and financial acumen. Your flywheel in the US should spin fastest when you can demonstrate both deep compliance knowledge and clear financial benefits. The UAE market requires a different flywheel emphasis. Focus on the validate phase by aligning with national strategy and demonstrating partnership potential with major projects. Your content should showcase case studies with government or semi-government entities, thought leadership that explicitly aligns with the Net Zero 250 vision, and demonstrations of scalability for mega projects like smart cities and renewable energy installations. The UAE respects authority that comes from strategic alignment and proven capability at scale. Your webinars should feature government officials, sustainability consultants working on national initiatives, and executives from companies successfully implementing large-scale carbon tracking projects. Position your solution as an enabler of national vision fulfillment, not just compliance. Your case study should highlight how your technology supports the UAE's goal of becoming a global sustainability showcase. Partner with local entities and maintain visible presence at strategic national events like the World Government Summit and ADIP. The UAE flywheel spins fastest when you can demonstrate both alignment with national priorities and the technical capability to deliver at the scale of national transformation projects. India's market emphasizes the educate phase because BRSR compliance is new and complex for many organizations. Your content should focus on practical how-to guides for BRSR reporting, webinars with compliance experts who understand the SEBI requirements, and case studies showing operational efficiency gains through automated emissions tracking. Indian prospects need clear, unambiguous guidance on meeting their regulatory obligations while improving operational efficiency. Your authority comes from demonstrating deep understanding of BRSR requirements and proven ability to integrate with existing ERP and operational systems. Feature compliance officers, chartered accountants familiar with BRSR, and operations managers who have successfully automated their reporting processes. Your case studies should emphasize cost savings through energy efficiency improvements identified through better carbon tracking, reduced manual reporting effort, and improved audit readiness. The Indian market values practical solutions that solve immediate operational challenges while meeting compliance requirements. Your flywheel spins fastest when you can demonstrate both regulatory expertise and operational efficiency benefits that appeal to cost-conscious, efficiency-focused Indian business culture. We've established our strategic framework with the authority flywheel. Now it's time to build the content engine that powers the first half of that flywheel, the educate and validate phases. This isn't about creating more blog posts or generic white papers. We're building a sophisticated content architecture that establishes you as the definitive authority in carbon compliance and tracking. Your content will become the resource that prospects turn to first when they have questions, the validation they need when evaluating solutions, and the ammunition your champions need to win internal budget battles. We're going to move beyond content marketing to content authority, creating assets so valuable that your competitors' prospects come to you for education. Let's start building the content engine that makes your flywheel unstoppable. The foundation of content authority is structure, not volume. We're going to build pillar pages surrounded by topic clusters. A pillar page is a comprehensive resource on a core topic. Think the ultimate guide to carbon accounting or complete SEC climate disclosure handbook. This isn't a blog post. It's a 5,000-word definitive resource that covers everything a prospect needs to know about that topic. Around each pillar, you create a topic cluster, a series of in-depth articles on specific subtopics that link back to the pillar. For carbon accounting, your cluster might include understanding Scope 3 emissions, choosing carbon accounting software, and automating emissions data collection. This structure serves three purposes. It establishes topical authority for search engines, creates a logical learning path for prospects, and positions you as a comprehensive resource rather than just another vendor with opinions. When prospects research carbon compliance, your pillar pages should be their first and most valuable discovery. Proprietary data creates unmatched content authority. Consider creating an annual State of Carbon Compliance report for your target industry. Survey 200-500 companies about their emissions tracking challenges, regulatory preparedness, and technology adoption. Partner with an industry association or consulting firm for survey distribution and credibility. Analyze the data to identify trends, benchmarks, and insights that don't exist anywhere else. Design a professional report with key findings, industry comparisons, and actionable recommendations. This report becomes a high-value, gated asset for lead generation and a powerful PR tool for media coverage. More importantly, it establishes you as the definitive source of industry intelligence. When analysts, journalists, or prospects need carbon compliance data, they cite your research. The survey process also creates relationships with potential customers and validates your understanding of market needs. One well-executed annual report can fuel content creation, media relations, and lead generation for the entire year while establishing unassailable thought leadership position. Interactive tools create engagement that static content cannot match. Develop a carbon compliance readiness calculator as your signature lead magnet. Create a simple online tool where prospects answer 10-15 questions about their current processes. Do you track Scope 1 emissions? How do you collect energy consumption data? What's your current reporting frequency? Based on their responses, the calculator generates a personalized readiness score and specific recommendations for improvement. The output might say, your compliance readiness score is 6 out of 10. To improve, focus on automating data collection and implementing monthly reporting cycles. Include links to relevant pillar content and offer a personalized consultation for scores below 7. This tool provides genuine utility while capturing deep qualifying data about prospects' current state and specific needs. Unlike a generic white paper download, the calculator creates an interactive experience that prospects want to share with colleagues. It positions you as helpful rather than sales focused while generating highly motivated leads who have already self-identified their compliance gaps and readiness for solutions. Remember our 4-persona buying committee. Your content must speak to each member's distinct priorities. For the sustainability officer, your champion, create in-depth technical content, methodology white papers comparing different carbon accounting standards, regulatory deep dives explaining nuances of SEC versus BRSR requirements, and technical guides for Scope 3 emissions calculation. They need content that demonstrates your technical expertise and helps them make informed recommendations. For the CFO, your decision maker, focus on business impact, ROI case studies showing compliance cost savings, risk mitigation reports quantifying regulatory penalty avoidance, and total cost of ownership analyses comparing manual versus automated approaches. They need ammunition for board presentations and budget justifications. For the head of operations, your end user, provide implementation guidance, system integration specifications, workflow optimization examples, and step-by-step implementation timelines. They need confidence that your solution won't disrupt their operations. Create persona-specific content paths that guide each stakeholder through their unique evaluation criteria while building toward the same conclusion. Your solution addresses everyone's concerns. Content themes must adapt to each market's unique drivers. For the USA, emphasize risk and financial protection. Is your board SEC ready? A CFO's guide to climate risk disclosure, or how carbon tracking software protects against regulatory penalties. Your content should help prospects understand compliance timelines, avoid enforcement actions, and satisfy investor ESG requirements. Include case studies of companies that successfully navigated SEC disclosure requirements. For the UAE, emphasize vision and partnership, how digital carbon twins power smart city development or scaling sustainability, carbon tracking for national transformation projects. Your content should demonstrate alignment with Net Zero 250 goals and capability for large-scale implementation. Feature partnerships with government entities and mega project success stories. For India, emphasize compliance and efficiency, a step-by-step guide to automating your BRSR reports or reducing compliance costs through intelligent carbon tracking. Your content should provide practical guidance for meeting BRSR requirements while improving operational efficiency. Include case studies showing cost savings and process improvements. Each market receives the same core message adapted to their primary motivations. Your best content source is already inside your company, your technical experts, product managers, and customer success teams. Don't just write about your solution. Showcase the people who built it and use it every day. Create a subject matter expert amplification program. Start by media training. 3-5 internal experts on key topics, your lead engineer on carbon accounting methodologies, your product manager on system integration, your customer success director on implementation best practices. Create a simple content co-creation process. Don't ask experts to write, ask them to talk. Conduct 30-minute recorded interviews about specific topics, then transform those conversations into blog posts, social media content, and presentation materials. Feature these experts on webinars, industry podcasts, and conference panels. When prospects see real people with real expertise behind your solution, trust builds naturally. Your competitors can copy your features and pricing, but they can't replicate your team's authentic expertise and experience. This program transforms your company from a vendor into a trusted advisor with faces, names, and proven knowledge. Webinars are your most powerful validation tool when done strategically. Don't host product demos, host industry discussions that establish your expertise. Create panel-style webinars featuring your internal experts alongside external authorities, navigating the SEC climate rules, a panel with former regulators and compliance officers, or BRSR implementation lessons from India's top sustainability leaders. Your role is to facilitate valuable discussions, not pitch your product. Promote these webinars through targeted LinkedIn ads to your ideal customer profile. Use registration data to identify engaged prospects and attendance behavior to score their interest level. Follow up with all registrants by sharing the recording, key insight summary, and related resources from your pillar content. The webinar becomes a lead generation engine, thought leadership platform, and relationship building tool simultaneously. Prospects who attend these sessions view you as an industry convener and trusted resource, not just another vendor. The key is providing genuine value through expert insights while positioning your team as knowledgeable participants in important industry conversations. Consider launching a niche podcast like Carbon and Compliance Weeklies for long-term authority building. A 20-30 minute weekly or bi-weekly show interviewing industry leaders, policymakers, and successful customers creates multiple benefits. First, it builds deep relationships with guests who become partners, advisors, and advocates for your company. Second, it creates a highly engaged niche audience that views you as the central hub for industry insights. Third, it generates continuous content that can be repurposed across multiple channels. Transcribe episodes into blog posts, create audiograms for social media, and extract key quotes for thought leadership articles. The podcast becomes a content multiplication engine while establishing your hosts as recognized industry voices. Most importantly, podcasts create intimate connections with listeners who feel like they know your team personally. This relationship depth is impossible to achieve through written content alone. Start small with monthly episodes featuring your internal experts and customer success stories, then expand to external guests as your reputation grows. The metric that matters most is content source pipeline. How much sales pipeline can be directly attributed to your content efforts? Use your CRM and marketing automation platform to track content touchpoints throughout the buyer journey. When an opportunity closes, analyze which content assets influence that deal. Did they download your pillar page? Attend your webinar? Use your calculator tool? Implement multi-touch attribution to understand which content combinations drive the highest conversion rates. Create a dashboard showing which specific assets generate the most pipeline value, not just downloads or views. This data transforms content from a cost center into a revenue driver with measurable ROI. Track first touch attribution to understand which content attracts new prospects and last touch attribution to see which content drives final decisions. Most importantly, measure content influenced deal velocity. Do prospects who engage with your authority content move through the sales process faster than those who don't? This metric proves that your content investment accelerates revenue generation, not just lead generation. We built our content engine to establish authority through the educate and validate phases. Now, it's time to convert that authority into revenue through the justify and engage phases of our flywheel. This is where we stop broadcasting and start narrowcasting, moving from building broad authority to engaging specific high-value accounts with surgical precision. Account. Base marketing isn't just about targeting companies, it's about orchestrating personalized experiences for complex buying committees over extended sales cycles. Your content authority becomes the foundation for credible engagement, but ABM provides the precision targeting and personalized messaging that converts interest into pipeline. We're going to build a tiered ABM program that scales from one-to-many programmatic campaigns to one-to-one executive experiences. The goal is to use your established authority to create meaningful conversations with the right people at exactly the right time in their buying journey. Effective ABM requires three distinct tiers that balance personalization with scalability. Tier 1 is strategic ABM, one-to-one marketing for your top 5 to 10 target accounts. These receive highly customized campaigns, personalized landing pages, custom research reports, executive briefings, and direct mail campaigns. Every touchpoint is tailored to that specific company's challenges and opportunities. Tier 2 is ABM Lite, one-to-few marketing for 20-50 accounts clustered by similar characteristics. You might create industry-specific campaigns for automotive suppliers or regional campaigns for UAE government contractors. Light customization with shared messaging frameworks. Tier 3 is programmatic ABM, one-to-many marketing for 200-500 accounts using technology for personalization at scale. Dynamic website content, personalized email sequences, and targeted advertising campaigns that adapt based on company attributes and engagement behavior. This tiered approach ensures your highest value prospects receive maximum attention while maintaining efficient coverage of your broader target market. The key is matching your investment level to the account's potential value and likelihood to close. Your ideal customer profile must be data-driven, not intuitive. Start with firmographics, industry verticals that face carbon compliance requirements, revenue ranges that indicate budget availability, employee counts that suggest complexity needs, and geographic presence in your target markets. Layer on technographics. What CRM, ERP, or sustainability software do they currently use? This reveals integration requirements and technology sophistication. Most critically, add intent data. Are they actively researching carbon accounting software, sustainability reporting, or your competitors? Intent data transforms your ICP from a static description into a dynamic targeting tool. Use platforms like Bombora or 6sense to identify companies showing buying signals related to your solution categories. Your ICP should answer, what type of company needs our solution? What technology environment will we integrate with? When are they most likely to buy? This data-driven approach ensures you're targeting accounts with both the need and the timing to make purchasing decisions. Regularly update your ICP based on closed-won analysis to improve targeting precision over time. Once you've identified target accounts, you must map the buying committee within each organization. Use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to systematically identify key personas. Search for titles like Chief Financial Officer, Head of Sustainability, VP Operations, and Chief Compliance Officer within your target companies. Don't just collect names, understand their backgrounds, recent activity, and potential pain points. Layer third-party intent data over this mapping. Which accounts are showing research behavior around carbon accounting, sustainability reporting, or regulatory compliance? Prioritize accounts where you see both the right people and active buying signals. Create a scoring system. Accounts with complete buying committee identification plus recent intent activity receive highest priority for Tier 1 treatment. Accounts with partial committee mapping and some intent signals go to Tier 2. Accounts with basic firmographic fit but no intent signals start in Tier 3 for nurturing. This systematic approach ensures you are investing your highest touch ABM efforts on accounts most likely to engage and buy. Update your mapping quarterly as people change roles and intent signals evolve. Now, let's practice crafting personalized value propositions for each buying committee member. For the CFO at a manufacturing company facing SEC disclosure requirements, your value proposition might be reduce climate disclosure compliance costs by 40% while eliminating regulatory penalty risk through automated audit-ready emissions reporting. This speaks directly to their cost control and risk management priorities. For the sustainability officer at the same company, try achieve investor-grade carbon accounting accuracy with comprehensive Scope 1, 2, and 3 tracking that meets the most stringent reporting standards. This addresses their credibility and thoroughness concerns. For the head of operations, integrate seamlessly with your existing ERP systems to automate data collection without disrupting current workflows or requiring additional staff training. This tackles their implementation and resource concerns. Notice how each value proposition addresses the same solution but emphasizes different benefits that matter most to each persona. The CFO cares about cost and risk. The sustainability officer cares about accuracy and credibility. The operations head cares about implementation simplicity. Practice writing persona-specific value propositions for your own target accounts. LinkedIn's Matched Audiences feature is your most powerful ABM tool. Upload your list of target companies and specific contacts to create custom audiences for highly targeted campaigns. Design a 3-campaign sequence. Campaign 1 promotes your authority content to build awareness, your state of carbon compliance report, or comprehensive regulatory guides. Target this broadly to all personas at your target accounts to establish credibility. Campaign 2 promotes persona-specific content, your CFO's guide to climate risk to financial decision makers, your technical implementation guide to operations teams. This demonstrates relevant expertise for each stakeholder. Campaign 3 retargets users who engaged with previous campaigns with specific calls to action, exclusive webinar invitations, personalized assessment offers, or executive briefing requests. This sequence mirrors your flywheel phases. Educate with authority content, validate with persona-specific expertise, then engage with personalized offers. Use LinkedIn's conversion tracking to measure which campaigns drive actual sales conversations, not just clicks. The key is patience. This sequence might run over 3-6 months as you build relationships with complex buying committees. True ABM power comes from orchestrating multiple channels simultaneously. Here's a one-to-few campaign example targeting automotive supply chain companies. Week 1. Launch LinkedIn ads promoting your automotive supply chain carbon compliance guide to sustainability and operations leaders at 15 target automotive suppliers. Week 2. Send personalized emails from your sales team to contacts who engage with the LinkedIn content, referencing the specific guide they viewed and offering additional insights. Week 3. Follow up with phone calls to email responders, using the content engagement as a natural conversation starter about their specific compliance challenges. Week 4. Invite the most engaged contacts to an exclusive virtual roundtable, Automotive Supply Chain Sustainability, Preparing for New Regulations. This orchestration creates multiple touchpoints that feel connected and valuable rather than random. Each touchpoint builds on the previous one, creating momentum toward meaningful sales conversations. The key is coordination between marketing and sales teams. Everyone must understand their role in the sequence and timing. Track engagement across all channels to identify the most responsive accounts for immediate sales focus. Don't build all authority from scratch. Amplify your reach through strategic partnerships. ESG consulting firms, sustainability advisors, and industry associations already have the trust and attention of your ideal customer profile. They've spent years building relationships you need. Create co-marketing partnerships, co-host webinars on regulatory compliance, co-author white papers on industry best practices, or offer referral programs for successful introductions. The goal is borrowing their credibility while providing genuine value to their clients. For example, partner with a sustainability consulting firm to create a joint webinar, SEC Climate Disclosure, a technical and strategic guide. They provide regulatory expertise and client relationships. You provide technical implementation insights. Their audience trusts their recommendation, dramatically reducing your sales cycle. Offer value beyond just lead sharing. Provide their consultants with technical training, early access to your content, or co-branded resources they can use with their own clients. Partnership marketing isn't just about reach, it's about trust transfer from established relationships to your growing authority. For your highest value, Tier 1 accounts, break through digital noise with high impact direct mail. Here's a proven play for targeting a Fortune 500 CFO. Create a premium package containing a relevant business book, perhaps the ESG imperative or climate risk and financial strategy, along with a handwritten note from your CEO. The note references a specific challenge at their company. I noticed company name. Mention climate risk as a key concern in your recent 10K filing. This book offers insights that might be valuable as you prepare for the new SEC disclosure requirements. Include a golden ticket, an elegant card offering a private 30-minute strategy briefing with your CEO and head of product to discuss their specific compliance timeline. The entire package arrives in a high-quality box with your company branding. This approach demonstrates premium effort and personal attention that's impossible to ignore. The cost per account might be $100, $200, but for a potential 500K deal, the ROI justifies the investment. Track response rates and follow up systematically. The goal isn't immediate sales, it's earning the right to a meaningful conversation with an otherwise unreachable executive. ABM success requires different metrics than traditional demand generation. Forget lead volume. Focus on account engagement, pipeline velocity, and deal quality. Track the percentage of target accounts that engage with your campaigns across multiple touchpoints. Measure how many contacts per account you're reaching. Successful ABM should penetrate multiple personas within each target organization. Monitor sales cycle length for ABM. Influenced deals versus non-ABM deals. Effective ABM should accelerate decision making through better relationship building and education. Track average deal size. ABM typically produces larger deals because you're engaging senior decision makers and building comprehensive value cases. Most importantly, measure win rate within your target account list compared to random inbound leads. ABM should dramatically improve close rates because you're investing in accounts with higher intent and better fit. Create monthly dashboards showing account engagement scores, multi-persona penetration, and pipeline progression. These metrics prove ABM's impact on revenue quality, not just quantity. When your CEO asks about marketing ROI, show them how ABM drives bigger deals, faster cycles, and higher win rates. We've designed our complete strategy. The Authority Flywheel Framework, advanced content architecture, and high-precision ABM campaigns. Now comes the critical question. How do you actually implement this in the real world? A brilliant strategy means nothing without flawless execution. In this final module, we'll create your practical implementation roadmap. We'll identify the essential technology stack you need to power this strategy, break down implementation into manageable 30, 60, 90-day phases, establish the marketing sales alignment that makes ABM successful, and create measurement frameworks that prove ROI to your leadership team. This isn't theoretical, it's your step-by-step guide to transforming your current marketing approach into a revenue-generating engine. By the end of this module, you'll have everything you need to start implementation tomorrow. Let's turn strategy into results. Your technology foundation requires 4 essential components. First, a robust CRM system like Salesforce or HubSpot that serves as your single source of truth for all customer data, tracking every interaction from first content engagement through closed deals. Second, a marketing automation platform such as HubSpot, Marketo, or Pardo for email nurturing sequences, landing page creation, lead scoring, and campaign attribution tracking. Third, an ABM platform like 6sense, Demandbase, or Terminus for account targeting, personalized advertising, and engagement analytics across your tiered ABM programs. Fourth, intent data from providers like Bombora or TechTarget to identify accounts actively researching your solution categories. These platforms must integrate seamlessly. Your intent data should trigger ABM campaigns. Your ABM engagement should inform lead scoring, and your marketing automation should feed qualified accounts to sales with complete context. Don't try to implement everything simultaneously. Start with CRM and marketing automation basics, then layer on ABM and intent data as your processes mature. The goal is creating a connected ecosystem that supports your flywheel strategy, not just collecting marketing tools. Your first 30 days focus on foundation and quick wins. Week 1 to define your ideal customer profile using the firmographic, technographic, and intent criteria we discussed. Build your initial target account list of 50-100 companies across all 3 ABM tiers. Begin technology setup and integration. This takes longer than expected, so start immediately. Week 3-4. Launch your first one-to-many's LinkedIn campaign using existing content to test messaging and targeting. Create your first pillar page on a core topic like Complete Guide to Carbon Compliance. Establish weekly sales and marketing alignment meetings to ensure everyone understands the new approach. The goal isn't perfection, it's momentum. You're building the foundation while generating initial engagement data. Track everything: which accounts engage with your LinkedIn campaigns, which content gets the most downloads, which personas respond best to your messaging. This data will inform your 60-day optimization. Most importantly, communicate the strategy to your entire team so everyone understands their role in the flywheel approach. Days 31-60 focus on launching content assets and refining targeting. Week 5-6 publish your first major content asset, a comprehensive white paper or your proprietary industry report. Launch your first one-to-few ABM campaign targeting a cluster of similar accounts, perhaps automotive suppliers or financial services companies. Week 7-8 host your first strategic webinar featuring external experts alongside your internal team. Analyze your initial campaign data and optimize based on engagement patterns. Which accounts are most responsive? Which content drives the best engagement? Which personas are engaging most actively? Formalize your marketing and sales service level agreement, defining qualified accounts, handoff processes, and follow-up timelines. The 60-day mark is when you shift from setup to optimization. You have enough data to make informed decisions about what's working and what needs adjustment. Your sales team should be seeing higher quality conversations from your ABM efforts. Your content should be generating meaningful engagement from target accounts. If something isn't working, adjust quickly. The flywheel gains momentum through iteration, not perfection. Day 6-190 focus on scaling what works and proving results. Week 9-10 conduct deep analytics review. Which campaigns, content, and accounts are driving the best results? Double down on successful strategies and eliminate or redesign underperforming elements. Week 11.20 launch your first one-to-one high-impact campaign for a top-tier account, perhaps that direct mail strategy we discussed. Present your first quarterly results dashboard to leadership, showing content influenced pipeline, account engagement scores, and sales cycle improvements. Plan your next quarter based on learnings and proven tactics. By day 90, you should have clear evidence of flywheel momentum, target accounts engaging with your content, sales conversations improving in quality, and pipeline velocity increasing. Your sales team should be advocating for the ABM approach because they're seeing better qualified opportunities. Your leadership should understand marketing's revenue impact through concrete metrics. Most importantly, you should have a proven playbook that you can scale and replicate. The 90-day mark isn't the end. It's the beginning of sustainable growth acceleration. ABM success requires tight marketing and sales alignment through a formal service level agreement. Your SLA must define 4 critical elements. First, what constitutes a marketing qualified account rather than a traditional lead. An MQA might be a target account where multiple personas have engaged with your content and shown intent signals. Second, establish response timelines. Sales must follow up on MQAs within 24 hours while the engagement is fresh. Third, create a feedback loop where sales reports back on account quality and readiness, helping marketing refine targeting and messaging. Fourth, set shared goals. Both teams should be measured on pipeline generation and revenue, not just marketing leads or sales activities. Document these agreements formally and review them monthly. When marketing and sales operate from the same playbook with shared definitions and goals, the flywheel accelerates dramatically. Misalignment kills ABM programs. Prospects receive conflicting messages, timing gets disrupted, and opportunities fall through the cracks. Your SLA ensures everyone understands their role in the revenue generation process and holds both teams accountable for results. Advanced KPIs prove marketing's revenue impact beyond traditional metrics. Pipeline velocity measures how quickly deals move through your sales process. Effective content and ABM should accelerate decision making by educating buyers and building relationships. Track the average time from first engagement to close deal for content-influenced opportunities versus non-influenced deals. Customer acquisition cost shows the efficiency of your flywheel approach. As authority builds and referrals increase, your CAC should decrease over time. Calculate total marketing investment divided by new customers acquired, then track this monthly to show improvement trends. Lifetime value reveals the quality of customers acquired through your authority-based approach. Prospects who engage deeply with your content often become higher value, longer-term customers. The LTV/CAC ratio is your holy grail metric. It should improve consistently as your flywheel gains momentum. These metrics tell a story that your CEO understands. Marketing isn't just generating activity, it's driving profitable growth through better customer acquisition and retention. Track these monthly and report quarterly trends to demonstrate continuous improvement. Your C-level dashboard must tell a compelling story with data, not overwhelmed with details. Structure it as one page with 5 key sections. Executive summary with 3 bullet points highlighting your biggest wins this month. Performance versus buzz, goals showing pipeline and revenue metrics against targets using simple charts. Flywheel metrics displaying account engagement scores, pipeline velocity improvements, and customer referral revenue. Key wins and learnings featuring one major success story and one important insight that will inform future strategy. Priorities for next month, listing your top 3 focus areas with clear success metrics. Use visuals over text charts, graphs, and traffic light indicators that show progress at a glance. Avoid marketing jargon. Speak in business language about revenue, growth, and competitive advantage. Include one customer quote or success story that demonstrates real business impact. The goal is a 5-minute read that leaves your CEO confident in marketing's contribution to business growth. Update monthly and present quarterly in person to ensure leadership understands your strategic impact. This dashboard transforms you from a cost center reporting activities to a revenue driver reporting results.